everyone. Hello everyone. When you come in, we'll take a moment to lie on the mat. Let's take one full body stretch. This will be a little wake up move. Breathe in, inhale, and we're going to exhale the hands down to the floor and start with the bridging pose. So both feet are on the floor. Lift and spread your toes and begin peeling up your back and peeling your back down. And let your breath go with your movement. Start relaxing your neck and shoulders. And we're going to contract the glutes and the hamstrings. As we go up, we're going one vertebra at a time the best we can to the shoulders, the shoulder blades, and then lowering one vertebra at a time. You're going to feel a posterior tilt. Your abs help you. So as you come up, your pubic bone pulls towards your navel. That's a posterior tilt. And then each vertebra comes off the mat at a time. Breathe in. And as you lower down, you tuck the ribs towards the navel so that each vertebra comes down until you're on the sacrum. We're going to do another one, and then we're going to hold that level hip position, that bridge. So holding here, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now, as you're ready, we're going to roll a vertebra down at a time. Take the hands in between the knees and hold on to the feet or the ankles. Now, this is a bound angle. You might even add a little rock. That a girl. Inhale. That's it. And we're going to start some circulation now. The left leg's going to go down to the floor. Lift up the right leg and take 5 circles each way with one leg. Lubricate that joint. Also, you can feel like it's getting a little warm up towards stretching in the hamstring position. Breathe in, and 2. And then you got it. Now 5 the other way. So reverse the circle. Maybe the circle is bigger now as you've warmed up. 3, 2. Now the right leg comes in the air and just pull it back for about 10. We're going to hold a hamstring stretch. 9, 8. Feel all this long part of your back part of your leg. 4, 3, 2. Let that leg down. Now the other leg is going to come up. Here we go. Draw a circle. 1 and inhale. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 the other way. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now when you finished 5 and 5, hold on to that leg, maybe the hamstring, maybe the calf, and pull that leg into as much of an extension as you can tolerate safely so that you feel a hamstring stretch. 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, 2 more. And then this time both hands go to both feet and just take a double knee down stretch. So happy baby, hold 5. You can even open up the toes. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to change positions. You can grab a sip in this changeover, this transition. And we're going to take some belly downs next, which are for the swan muscles, the thoracic extension. Take your legs long. Your hands are going to be helping you on this one, but not at first. So go up. And then when you cannot go anymore with your torso, your hands do help you. Let's do this dynamically lowering. Now when you lower, your head or your cheek can rest. Now both thighs come up. We're waking up the hamstrings and the glutes. Now the upper back will lift. Now the hands are going to help. Now at the top, we're going to begin lowering, lower, and then lift up your feet. Lower the feet, lift up your torso, press with your hands, and then lower, and then lift up your legs, and lower your legs, and lift up your torso. So it's sort of like you're the bottom of a rocking chair. You might notice you can go higher and lower your torso, and then your legs. Good, just work at your own healthy pace. The next time that your torso's up, we're gonna stay here. About 15 counts. Good. Shoulders are down. What I see looks really good. I see the elbows pointing down. Good. Karen, you even went up a little bit more. Good. This is helpful for forward head syndrome too. And so keep there. Yep. Right, Betty? You were talking about wanting it. So when your head's pulled back, your ear's in line with your shoulder, that's helping those neck retractors. That's why I look at you and make sure your head's not kind of poked forward, but you can do it too. I can see that everyone has good form. So that's one neck retractor strengthener. Now lower down. Now this one, there's no hands helping. So your hands can be beside your hips, palms face the floor, but lift up the hands a little. Now that activated your rear deltoid, which helps prevent rounded shoulders. Now you lift up your ribs a little. Now that activated your upper back, which helps prevent a rounded upper back. But guess what else came up? The head. That's activating the neck erectors so that your head doesn't go ahead of the rest of your body in what's called tech neck or forward head syndrome. So the great news is this is helpful. I'm going to look at you though. So what I see is no one's letting their head droop to the floor lower than their torso. You've got a string on your head pulling it up. Now lower down and rest for just a moment. So these are helpful to prevent forward head and forward back and rounded shoulders. So get it ready. Now you probably understand why I do these every single time, because we all need it so bad. Here we go. Lift up. And what I really like is no one's yanking their head up to lift their chin to cause unusual tension in the neck. The neck's getting strengthened in the way we need it to prevent forward head. Yes. Keep that 3. Keep that 2 more. 1 more. Now recover for a minute. Just a moment. We're going to do it again. Here we go. The inhale is going to help you lift up your arms, your shoulders, your ribs. Your head's coming along. That's the neck muscles. Gently retract your scapula together towards each other. That helps the back body not get rounded. It helps the shoulders not get rounded, and the neck muscles are getting stronger to not get so lax that they let the head poke forward. Now breathe in, everything's up. Hold it longer. These are posture muscles. They need our strength all day long, right? To hold our body up. So that's why we're kind of holding them a little longer up here. And then let's take a child's pose. Push back. You can do a child's pose or you can do whatever pose helps your body. You got it. Now we're going back down to that position because so much of our life puts our head forward. I'm doing a little bit more. So we have our body down prone. Now this one, your arms are going to make a circle. I'm going to make sure I don't hit anything. And you're going to still pretend like you're swimming. You're going to lift up and notice how the head's coming with you. That's strengthening those neck muscles that help prevent forward head. Keep going, I'm just talking. It strengthens your upper back, which helps you from being rounded. And you want to feel your scapula move because so many people get frozen shoulder or shoulder issues. But what we're doing is trying to keep them mobile. This is a great place to keep them mobile. So the scapula are not rigid. They have freedom to move because they're not weighted right now. This is a great place to practice it. 1 more. And then recover for a moment. Now the next one is hands behind your low back, either a stretch or one hand on the other. So I'm going to choose the palms together, interlaced finger position to stretch the most I can. Now we're opening up the shoulders even more. So one part of this is we open the front body, lift up, try to feel your shoulders stretch if you're doing the hands behind. Lift up your back. Hi. Your thighs, your belly. Lift up a little higher in the upper back, Betty, and maybe chin tuck a little. Yep, just that little bit. So that way the neck muscles that we want to get strong. That's it. 5, 4, 3, 2. Recover for a minute, and if you're doing the finger interlace, switch those hands. Get ready. And when you lift your face off the floor, you're strengthening those neck muscles. When you lift your ribs off the floor, you're strengthening your back muscles. when you glide your scapula towards each other, retract them, it strengthens the upper back so it doesn't feel so rounded. It's easier to keep your body upright. Hi, little girl. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then recover. Take a child's pose. Rest back any way you need to. I'm going to add a toe under cue, so if you are interested in doing that foot stretch with your feet underneath and your heels straight up, add that. Nice. All right, girls, grab a sip if you'd like. This next one, I'm going to show you how it's also a good one for the neck. So watch how I'm in all fours. And one thing I always watch for you guys for is that your head doesn't do this. I'm going to show the bad way just for a moment. So I don't let the head down here, right? So if I retract my head and you imagine your jaw is this shelf, I'm pulling it back. Now I'm anti-gravity, so you're going to feel a little tone in these neck muscles. Guess what they do? Prevent forward head. So your ear in line with your shoulder cue is important here. Now try to keep that and reach your right arm and your left leg out and then lower it. So I'm going to do this in layers, but notice how you do not want to drop your head because we're training the neck muscles, and then the opposite hand and knee. So your head looks good. Karen, your head looks good. Everybody's head looks like they're in the right place. So those are the neck muscles we need to keep forward head from happening, or tech neck. And we're working in exact opposite of gravity, so it's more powerful here. You don't want the head to fall. You want to feel it retracted. Now, if you want it harder, lift up your toes and your shin while you do this opposite arm, opposite leg reach. Now it's more balancy. It's going to turn on your TVA muscles, your abs, your multifidus. One more each. Pull that head back. Notice how you don't let it get lazy towards the floor. Now rest your toes for a minute. Lift up your right foot to the sky. Take your left hand back there and try to stretch out that leg. And Karen, I think you're going to do a modification, right? Yeah, just do the modification you need. So you could do your hand to your knee. Keep going. I've got a little hamstring stretch from my workout yesterday. Take an inhale, lower that. You're going to do the other side. Pick up a foot. And notice how you're retracting your head. So retract your head towards the sky. Lift your back knee a little bit more, Betty. I think you usually can do that. Yep. See how your shoulder open too. Yep. Feel the neck retractor so the head's not lazily drooping to the floor, is it? And then come back down. Child's pose. Woo. Good. When you're ready, go back down to bridge. So Betty, this is just sort of spotting all the things that you were asking me about, like head. We do it in different ways, but now with your attention there, you'll probably feel it more. The feet are on the floor, so preventing forward head syndrome. One easy thing you can do, because now we're with gravity, right? Our head would drop anyway. You cannot see it because it's isometric, but I want you to press your head, the back of your head, to the floor. Just a little. I don't want you to strain. If you put your 2 fingers on either side of your neck muscles, your neck, your spine, your neck spine, your cervical spine, do you feel them contracting when you push your head down? Just push straight back. Your jaw should be perpendicular to the floor. Put your fingers on either side of your cervical spine. And right away I noticed my right cervical muscles, erectors, they wanted to fire a little bit easier than my left, so I'm getting my focus on the left side too. Now they're both firing the same amount by my fingers proprioceptive. Push your head to the floor and relax, and then push your head to the floor, relax and push. That's another little exercise you can do where you're training those muscles. All these exercises we do train them, but these are in different planes. Now relax your neck and just make sure you didn't have any extra tension. And if you're doing okay, roll up to a bridge again. Now when you're in bridge, if you care to add on, we're going to just add on a little ankle to thigh, and this is a way to do single bridge plus touch a hip stretch. So if you're adding on this extra, do 10 of these single bridges. And then you can do another set on the other side, 10 to even it up. Nice job. And then hug the legs in for just a little bit. Very good. We're going to do one set of the single leg pulls. I like this for the nerves as well. So when you're ready, curl your spine up, take your right leg in the air and just point it up and flex it down. And notice your ankle. You really want to try to stretch out that ankle. 3, keep the hips level. And 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more. All right, this foot's going to come down and then other leg is up. Now, you may notice your leg's a little tight at first, like I just did, and then you ease into it. 3, good. 4, work those toes. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. Now let that foot down, inhale, lower down, and then just take a moment to take a rotational stretch. So left leg long, right knee over, right arm out like a T or a Y, and you're going to be looking towards that right hand. Breathe in. Now we're going to inhale. Let's go to the other side, leg long. And then the other arm comes out. So rotations. Now this is a stretch, but it opens up the shoulder and the chest, which is really important to prevent forward rounded shoulders, because where the upper back goes, the head will adjust as well. So knowing or being flexible in each part of the spine helps the neck, helps the low back, helps the upper back, because they're all related, they're all connected. So now we're opening up that chest and shoulders so that they don't draw our shoulders forward. We also know thoracic rotation helps prevent rounded upper back. Take another breath here. Enjoy. And then this is just a thigh in. This is a way to neutralize. You can even rock a little bit. Really good. And then let's take a little hands underneath the thighs when you're ready to come up and grab a sip. Good job. Hope that all makes sense. How there's so many benefits in each exercise. So I'm just focusing a little bit more on how it helps prevent forward head syndrome. Of course, we know fascial patterns help, so I'll go over that at the end, how we want to stand or sit when we have the choice. Okay, so now we're going to be doing a plank. Planks are really important for head position too. They train the neck muscles on the back, the erectors. So your elbows are underneath your shoulders and you're opposite gravity now. Your spinal muscles are opposite gravity. So if your head were to droop, you would be making head neck or tech neck worse. But what we do is retract the head, and when we set up, we really want the ear in line with the shoulder. The jawline is perpendicular to the floor. You're not craning your neck up and you're not looking at your toes. You're probably looking around the wrist area, and I'm going to look. So everybody's head position looks good. It's almost like I had a foam roller on your back and you want your head to touch that foam roller too. Good, Michelle? Good. And now take a recovery pose, which is swan or sphinx. So swan or sphinx. Good. Here we are doing a neck position. Good. Yeah. Looking impressive, guys. Okay, now we're going to do a side plank. This also helps with the forward head. We're in a different plane. So you train your body in all planes. You won't want your head to go forward. You want it to be back. You can pretend, I just put myself on the wall. You can pretend you're on a wall so that your head wouldn't be off of it. The back of it would be just like your upper back, just like your hips. So working on that, your form looks good. All right, when you're ready, lower the hip, never collapse at the shoulders. Other side. I'm just demoing how you could pretend you're up against a wall and I'm actually putting myself up against, and my head can touch. So my ear's in line with the shoulder from this side plane, in the frontal plane. I don't let it go forward no matter where I am. Good, practicing building strength in all the planes, building fascial memory in all the planes. Now we're going to lower that hip. That was terrific. Now we're going to be doing a little movement, dolphin plank. That teaches your head where to go as well. So you're, no matter where you are in space, so you move your hips up, and to keep your ear in line with the shoulder, your gaze will change probably towards your toes. And then when you come back to plank, gently retract the head so you feel like the ear's in line with the shoulder. Yes, okay, looks good. Now push the hips up. Now you're gonna push through the toes and come back, retract the head, and then come back to dolphin, go to plank. Good. Now we're gonna do that 2 more times. And 1 more time. Rest for a moment in Sphinx or Cobra, whatever counterposes your abs to get a stretch. Notice your ears in line with your shoulder. Looks good, guys. Lower down. We're going to go for the bow pose or 2 of them. Bend the knees, 1 or 2, and then reach for your hand to your foot or your ankle, 1 or 2. Here we go. Your head's retracted. Nice. Nice. 5, 4, 3, 2. Lower and either do the other foot or both feet again. Here we go. Up. And recover. All right, some type of child's pose. You can do a toe under. If you're wanting a little bit more toe stretch, you can do kneeling on your toes. And if you're still wanting a little bit more toe stretch, put your hands back, toe crushasana, and lift your hips. 5, 4, 3, 2, woo, yep. Inhale, and then good. Way to try it. That's it. And then come out and grab a sip. Really good. Nice. So I'm going to have us do something for the wrist if you would like to. If you do not want to, I'm going to offer variation. So a plank on your forearms is a variation. Push-ups on the wall is a variation. Push-ups on the all fours, push-ups on the knees, or push-ups on the toes. So I'm deliberately just adding a little bit of stress to the wrist so that we don't have, if we fall, those bones are strong. They aren't like totally incapable of catching us. So some type of your choice stressor on a safe wrist and building arm strength. So you can do a plank as a backup plan though, or you can do them on the wall, but just a controlled stress on the bones of the wrist. About 10. And then recover. And we're going to do a little stretch. So once you're ready, sit any way you want. We'll do a stretch this way. Good job. Good. Breathe, and everything is down the back, shoulders down the back. Now the other one, the pull back, and your elbows really long. And notice when we're sitting, we're trying not to have the head forward, right? So this is called a fascial pattern. Your ears in line with your shoulder whenever you can. And I say that because you might be in a sport like biking where it's not going to be in the right place, or some other sport. But when we can, we choose that resting fascial pattern. And this one. Good. Your body will start to remember it wherever you are. All right, so just shake it out. The next one I want to do is the hips because we want to prevent any fractures from happening there. So we're going to have a side lying position. You can grab a sit, and we're going to prop up on one forearm. So when you prop up, it makes it harder. The modification would be not to prop. So the prop up looks like this. Notice my head's not forward of my body. I'm pulling it back. Now the top leg will feel like it's very heavy. When you're up on your forearm, it makes it harder to lift that leg. 3, the other trick is try not to sink, try to stay lifted. 5, and we're trying to get some strength here. 6, and build bone density here. 7, because it's a top hip fracture, or top bone to fracture. So we want to stress it in a good way. Not all stress is bad. This is a eustress. Go backwards, lift up. If you feel better, lift it higher. 4, good. 5, lift up. 6, so maybe starting to feel heavy. 7, 8, 9, 10. Now this arm's going to be our pillow, and the top leg's going to take a little bit of a stretch, but just like a passive one. So the bottom leg, I want you to point the toes. This helps with balance. These inner thigh muscles right here is what I want you to feel. Draw huge circles. Maybe you could think of a big melon you're trying to trace the circle of, a big melon. Flex the other way, 10. All right, now come back to the same side, but you lift, so you haven't changed sides yet, just prop up. This leg's gonna try to go up as high as you can. Flex it down, point. We're gonna just give a little bit of extra insurance to keeping our hips strong. 5, our glute med. 6, which helps us balance. 7, and the bone, the greater trochanter. 8, because we don't want it to fracture. 9, 10. Now we'll do one more on the inner thigh, very similar, but the bottom leg's gonna point up, flex down. So these are stabilizer muscles, these inner thighs, so that ideally we have them stronger and we don't fall. They also help up stairs and up hills. Point, flex. Good. Now we're going to do everything on the other side, so I'll just meet you there. If you want to sip, grab it. We're going to do the whole series. The elbow is underneath you, and notice the head cue. So instead of forward, you would notice your head wants to be back. Take that top leg, point, draw these circles. Point, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. You notice how it feels kind of heavy? And now we're going to go the opposite way. Try to keep that knee pretty long here. Up. 1, 2. And you notice your ribs would fall if you weren't paying attention, or your head would sink forward. We're trying to keep it all together, all integrated. 8, 9. Building bone density. Now this arm comes down. This leg goes forward. The bottom leg is going to draw point circles. And you can think about trying to trace a really large melon. Flex the other way. Now pull your toes back so we're really keeping the ankles strong. 2 and 6, 7, belly in, 8, inner thighs, 9. Now we're going to take it up. This next one is, so your head's back on this imaginary wall, point up and flex down. Point up, flex down. So the toes are pointing forward, not towards the sky. Your ribs are lifting. 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, 10. That's good. Now this torso goes down. This leg goes ahead of the other. So now we're going to point up and flex down. Point up and flex down. Belly in. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got it. Now we're going to be belly down. So your hamstrings and your glutes are the next area, and that's important for balance. And a lot of times there can be a weakness there, if you've had to sit for a long time. So lengthen the left leg up and then lengthen the right leg up. Your goal is to try not to move your pelvis right and left. It's just your femur lifting. Try not to contract the neck. You can be down. Catherine, the only reason I pop up my head is to see you guys, but you can relax. Yep, that makes sense, right? And then you can relax your neck as much as possible. So you're not recruiting unnecessarily from the neck. Keep going. If you feel like you can add on a challenge, vertically flutter, where both legs are off the floor, like knees down to toes. Good. And then flutter. Tight hamstrings, tight glutes. 10, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Recover for a moment. Now we're going to do heel beats. We lift up the feet. We tap them together. Good little release. About 30 heel beats, hamstrings, glutes, and building some back strength too. Take about 10 more. And then take a push back or a knee bend sway. So any kind of reprieve you need. Rest. I'm going to do a knee wide one on this child's pose so the belly has plenty of room to diaphragmatically breathe. Breathe in. The class is also an opportunity for us to work on breathing. It's easy to go through the day and not ever have focused on it. So we get intentional breathing. That's where all the benefits of breath work come from. Conscious mind on the breath. All right. Come back down and we'll do some swimming on the belly. Another great forward head preventer. Your arms can be like a Y. Right arm and left leg lift. And notice I'm not letting my head droop to the floor. I've got it lifted. Left arm, right leg lift. Right arm, left leg. Left arm, right leg. I'm going to look at you, but you're probably looking down. Float your upper back up a tiny bit, I think, Betty. Just a tiny bit up. Your upper back, yeah? Yeah. All right, if you want more, your upper back's up and you're doing right, left. Your head is gently retracted. Breathing. If you would like, inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. Syncopated, percussive breath. And a recovery of your choice. Nice job. Good job. Grab so you could do child's pose, you could do knee bends. We're going to just take a moment here. I like it. Good job, guys. We're going to touch base with a few planks now. Again, another opportunity to have head retraction. And yeah, if you didn't grab a sip, grab a sip. Cheers. And happy fall, November. We're going to bring our forearms down. And all we're going to do after we do our cues that are our form cues, our head's back, our shoulders are strong, your low back's not drooping, you're going to do an isometric pull, which doesn't look any different from the outside. It's an inside job. Pull your elbows towards your feet towards your elbows. Squeeze, pull. Pretend that you're trying to pull your mat ends together. Your abs will feel like they're contracting more. Woo! And recover. Nice job. I hope you felt that extra isometric contraction. Now on the side, we're going to do a little thread the needle and paint the sky. We're going to do 5 of each. So when you come up, you go thread the needle. I've got to flip this under. Okay. Thread the needle and over. Thread the needle and over. We know that neural patterns are important during exercise because your blood's going more to the brain. The brain gets more blood flow. All right, that was 5 sets. Now let's do that on the other side. Here we go. Prop yourself up. Go 5 sets. You got it. Through and then over. And a rotation. And then over. A rotation. And over. A rotation. Got to make sure we did 5. Make sure it's 5 sets. Ooh, and then recover. Nice job. This next one, if you need a stretch, just do a stretch like bound angle. If you would like to do reverse table, it is a little bit on the wrist. You could do this. You could do this. You could do bound angle if you need to. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, recover. Now we're going to just take a stretch for the wrists. See if you can put the right arm in front or on top, left arm underneath. So they're crossed. Yeah. Now, can you hold hands with yourself? Okay. The bottom arm is going to pull the top wrist into a stretch. Drop the shoulders. And then undo it, but switch it. Now hold hands. The bottom arm is going to pull the top forearm into a stretch. I've experimented both ways too. You can usually get a little stretch if you do it. If you mess up and you're like, I'm just going to do both sides, that's fine. Oh yeah, lengthen the elbows, drop the shoulders. While we're here, let's do a prayer pose down. So palm together, but keep on going low until you feel it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let that go, and we'll do one little carpal. This is like, to me, putting lotion on the carpals from the inside out. Synovial fluid, just trying to lubricate the joints. They love that. Before we go on, we'll just do a little extension here. So let's go up and back. It's hard for me to pass this one up. So this is another one. Lift your heart. So one part of the recipe of having a good posture is opening up the front body. So you see that this is part of that recipe. Shoulders, chest. Lift, lift, lift. Nice. Inhale. And then let that go. Nice. Shaking it out. We're going to do a couple of functional tasks. Grab a sip. The first one's going to be a 30-second plank. So if you care to join me for a 30-second, you can. Just for fun, it's the beginning of November. We'll do a minute as the full challenge. Please know you can come at it 30 seconds if you want. So 30 seconds or a minute, your choice, or take a break between and then join me when you can. I've got a second-hand timer up here on the wall. So get ready. It's going to be a minute plank or 30 seconds. You get to choose. Get ready, set, and come up. All right, just holding here. Ears pulling back in line. So we're building strength in the erector muscles of the spine. We're building mental fortitude, building ab strength. You can still breathe. You might be breathing to the ribs as opposed to the belly because we need our abs to hold this. And right now, you are already at 30 seconds. So if you do need a break, you can take it and then join us. But everybody's looking good. See how the head's still in a good place? You're not letting it droop. Feel strong, but feel calm. It's like a calm determination. Looks like we have 10 more seconds for that minute. Powerhouses. 5, 4, 3, 2, recover. And let's stretch a swan or a sphinx. Good job. Yeah, you can do a child's pose. You can do whatever you need. You deserve whatever stretch you need. I'm going to offer this because it does stretch out the abs. Whew. Really good. Nice. The next one is a squat, but I want you to be able to take a happy baby if you want to. So you could do happy baby, or you can do a Maldrasana in yoga, like a third world squat, they call it too. You can do happy baby if you would like, or you can sit on a block. That's a girl. I want you to find your place. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2. Nice. And then any way you can, there's a few ways you can get up to standing. See if that's functional for you. Betty, that looked good the other day. And then everybody good. And then come down. And if you want to do the one foot in front of the other one, Michelle, come down. We're just going to do it one more time. We'll meet you standing. And then we'll do one tree pose because that's a functional task of having balance, right? So whenever you get up, again, we'll do a tree pose. All right, hold. 10, slow count. 2, 3, good. 4, I'm slow counting. Good. 5, 6, just doing some functional tasks here. 7, 8, now where's your head? It's up against an imaginary wall with the rest of your body. Get ready, hands come down, foot down. Before you change, your head's in line with your body, right? So ear in line with the shoulder from the side. Tree pose. Maybe you lift your arms. Whoa, there I go. I'm going to do a slow count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Inhale. Nice job. Lower that foot down. Hot dog. And then come back down. Now, another way to get down, we did the squat, so if you want a different way, it's like you're reverse lunging. Then once the knee carefully hits the floor, your foot wraps around, and there you are. Nice job. Grab a sit. Terrific. So we're going to take a moment to take a slight, maybe a 10-second slowed down version of a roll down. If you need to get down quicker, please do. Take that inhale, and on the exhale, come to your side. Now, what we're doing this time is the obliques and the side hip muscles. I have to move my mic. But again, you could sort of think about your head position. So try the legs and or the upper body coming up 5 times. Yeah, see, you change your arms. I have to clip this in. The next one is possibly a banana boat for 5, or keep doing your legs or keep doing your arms. You get to choose. So it could be legs, like Betty, that would be good for you. Just 2, side lying. Good. Nice. 3. So we're working the abs in different planes. 2. 1 more. Inhale and exhale up. Perfect. Now, the other side, you could do just the legs lifting. You could do the legs and the arms lifting in different patterns. See how you can change the arms. Yeah, legs. Now maybe you want to come up. Just make sure you have enough room behind you. So up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more, 1. Inhale. Nice job. Now, if you have your foam roller handy, and I see everyone, so grab your foam roller. You may want a block or a pillow. We're going to do something for that forward head and that forward upper back. So what I want you to do is, for most of us, the foam roller will be behind the upper back. Got props handy. Because, now get it in the part that you would guess is the most round part. Right around the middle scapula. And then you can put I've got a half a yoga block. If you have one of those are nice. Or maybe you want a full one. And if your hips feel like they're getting, pulling your low back, you can always put a half a yoga block under there. So you'll notice I just show different ways. Try the roller an inch lower towards your bottom scapula. Michelle, I think a little lower towards your bottom scapula. Or you move your body up, either way. All right, this is helpful for that upper back. Because could you imagine, what if your upper back were really rounded? Really rounded. What would your head have to do in order to see? It would have to yank really high up. It would have to be like this unusual chin lift in order to overcome the thoracic spine's extreme kyphosis. So the spine, it's all related. If one part's out of whack, it's going to affect the others. So this upper back, passive release, you're trying to let go. Relax the upper back, breathe up in there. We're trying to relax these muscles in a passive extension. We already got them stronger. We're trying to open up the shoulders and the chest. We're trying to open up this thoracic spine. These are all parts of the formula to prevent rounded upper back and forward head syndrome. Now, you can tuck your chin and kind of help your hand underneath your head. And I want you to feel your upper back and your neck on the floor and your low back, because it's all related, just more touch now. Nice. Now we're going to do the low back. So this is now a psoas release. A lot of people have tight hip flexors and a compressed low back because we sit a lot, right? We're in flexion a lot. So try to find, stage 1 would be both knees bent. Stage 2, one knee bent, one knee long, and then switch. Stage 3, both legs long. And then if you're at that one, you're probably near the glute hamstring area. Let's add on a passive shoulder opener, kind of like a T or a Y. All right, make sure it feels good. Low back. When the low back's really tight and lordotic from tight hip flexors, it usually jams the knees into hyperextension and creates the upper back getting more kyphotic, which means the head's going to be more forward. So it's all related. Try to relax in the low back. Take another inhale. And then you might slide your feet on the floor and then let that out. Now notice how that feels. Now we're going to put the foam roller long ways, and your chest and your shoulders are our focus, because if the chest and shoulders are tight, they draw our arms forward, and where the arms go, the back goes. So this is the opposite. You may just you may just lie on your roller. You might have an extra prop, like another half a foam block or pillow under your head. Your arms are like a T or a Y to get a big stretch if you can, okay? So your chest and shoulders are our focus. If you want to add on a bound angle, that could be another extra stretch. Just make sure your chest and your shoulders are your focus. Those muscles, we're letting them stretch so that they don't draw us forward. This is a great posture class today. You feel like it's easier to keep your posture today. Take another inhale, and then as you're ready, slowly come off for a minute and just notice how you feel with your back on the floor. Notice how everything is. Now we're going to take a Pilates ring or a Dyna band to do a hamstring stretch. I'm also going to offer that you can do this over your foam roller because it's such a powerful tool to get that psoas again, and it also gets that deeper stretch and a decompressed spine, things we all need. So now if you're doing that with the foam roller, one leg's long and one leg's up. And you might like a Dyna band. Do you have what? There you go, Catherine, you have one. Good. Yeah. All right, now you can give relaxing your muscles as your full attention. Exhales are a great chance to do that. You can take that leg across the midline. It's going to feel like outer hamstrings. We're going to go out to the side. Take that leg up, one leg down. Now feel your psoas release, feel your back relax. Hamstring, outer thigh. And you might go out to the side a little bit. Gently take that down, and if you want to just use the prop to keep your hips up and then put your feet on the wall or a couch or something higher than your heart, this is a great chance for releasing the vessels. And if you've ever had achy legs after standing all day, this is a great thing you can do. Or let's say a long hike. So let your mind close and just let everything of the past and the future be unimportant. It's really right now. We're going to breathe in full through the nose. Fill up the belly, ribs, heart. We don't get many chances like this to put everything aside and refill our cup. Fill yourself with wellness and kindness, nourishment, recharge. Now as you're ready, release your yoga block or your foam roller and just come up to a seated position, and we'll gently touch the posture while you're seated. So I'll just turn to the side so it's easier, but if you find yourself like this during the day, your body will recognize it. And you'll pull your head back like it's a shelf, the jaw is a shelf, until your ear's in line with the shoulder. Now that's hard to see on yourself. Another cue is nose behind the sternum. And you're not doing that, you're just pulling it back. And it's like there's a crown, a golden string attached to your crown pulling you up. So that looks good. I'm looking here and the shoulders are down. The ribs are neither forward nor back, side or side. They're right over the pelvis. So for me, that's a little bit of ab tone here. Your pelvis is neither tucked under or tucked back. It's neutral is what that's called. So lumbopelvic stability. So those are some cues. Now just sort of hit the safe button, and your body knows more than we realize because we've been practicing this a lot. So notice how it feels. It's almost like your bones are so stacked you don't have to work at it. So breathe in fully, this wellness. Notice how it feels to have good posture. To me, it feels grounded, it feels clear, it feels hopeful, it feels elevated, it feels confident. Notice how that feels positive. And that chemical reaction that's happening in the body with good posture, good breathing, will remind us when we've accidentally slumped during the day. So with so much appreciation, I hope you like our posture-focused class and have a wonderful day. Yes, you did.